Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here of Plan with Elise, and today we are going to talk about my January goals and set up some goals for February. So January is not actually over when I'm filming this. Today is January 25th, so there's still 6 days left in January, but I'm pretty confident about where I'm at with my goals and what I can still do in the next 6 days, although 2 of them I'll be away. So I really have like 4 days left: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, I have 4 days left. So I feel like at that point I sort of know, where things stand. So let's talk about January. There were a couple of factors that impacted January for me. So the first factor was that on January 2nd or 3rd, I ended up with a stomach bug, some sort of something. I think that it may have been my body adjusting to when I was in the Dominican Republic and then coming back. So that definitely threw me for a loop for a little bit. And then about a week and a half after that, I fell down my stairs, which I was fine, but hurt for a couple of days. So both of those things had a bit of an impact on some categories, and we'll get to those. So, January, my personal focus is pursuit of a wonderful year. My word of the year is pursuit. So, set 2025 goals because I set my January goals before I set my yearly goals. So, that is done. I did also set quarter 1 goals, and I made some doctor's appointments that I needed to make. I've also not researched, but I've thought about the category fun and recreation as it pertains to goal setting, and I have some ideas for February for that. Work and learning, pursuit of a successful year. Set 2025 business goals, done. Revamp my media kit, done. I did not reorganize Patreon at the admin level. It may still be something that I do in the next few days, but to be honest, I'm also kind of forgetting about like what I originally wanted to do with that. So it may not be something that we get done. I did finish customs by January 15th. Actually, I finished all February customs. Well, I have one more to do, but I'm going to do that after this video. But technically, before February even starts, I am finished with all February custom spreads, which is amazing. And the thing is, because February Patreon hasn't been paid yet, I ask my members who are in that tier, I have 10 of them, if they know they'll be renewing and they have their request, let me know what it is so I can get a head start. And I'm so blessed that all of them are renewing. They knew what they wanted, and I was able to get them all out the door. They should even all have them in their hands before February even starts. And 2 unique videos. So, what I would call 2 unique videos that I shared on YouTube this month are, or I guess last month when you're watching this, are the Amazon haul, which is kind of unique for me. It's not something that I do all of the time. I also did a sticker book destash video. I did a video where I was using stamps, which I don't often use. So I think that we did a little bit. I think that we accomplished that. I'm happy with that. And then I also did a 2024 flip through. So there's been some differences. And that's all for there. Okay, family and relationships. Make plans to spend time with loved ones, but also make time to rest. So, because I wasn't feeling well for some of January and then like I had gotten hurt, I feel like a lot of plans didn't get made, but it was okay because it's been so cold. One weekend we had a winter storm. January is more the time to like stay in, but there were a couple of weekends where there were friend plans. One day I spent like the whole day. One day or earlier in the day I had brunch, then later in the day I visited 2 different friends, so I kind of like banged it all out in one day. I did a sort of spontaneous pizza night at my mom's house with my niece and nephew and sister-in-law. And so there's been a little bit here and there, but it hasn't been what felt like every single weekend there were plans with people, because I do recharge best when I'm just home and I can't always spend that much time socializing. I just know myself. So I think that that was accomplished. Health and wellness, get on track with my need to be healthier. So I'm laughing at myself because I wrote down exercise 3 times per week, no excuses. There's definitely an excuse when you have a stomach virus, and there's definitely an excuse when you fall down the stairs. Once I was healed from falling down the stairs, I have been very consistent with my Peloton. So I don't know that I can check this off because I did not get on the Peloton until January 19th. So I went almost 3 weeks without being on it. But since I went on it, I've been consistent. I have been meal planning every week. I did weigh myself. I wrote down my why. And besides the winter trip, practiced healthy choices when out. I've been really good about healthy choices. I'm actually down 5 pounds from December, from I guess when I weighed myself, which is probably January 1st, maybe. But what's important for me to note about those 5 pounds and what's important for me to remember is that for the last couple of weeks in December, I probably put on a few pounds for between the holidays and parties and being in the Dominican Republic, having like fruity drinks thing and eating not healthy. So I think that I'm probably back to like my pre-holiday weight, but the goal is to still continue because I have a number in mind. Spiritual and personal growth, pursuit of a better relationship with myself. I did read 4 books. I actually read 9 books, and I'm probably going to read one more before the end of the month. So January tends to be a month of a lot of reading. In addition to me getting sick, James, my boyfriend, also got sick. And when he got sick, he stayed at his place. And so we've spent a little bit less time together in January than usual. So I had some more time to get things done around my home, and also reading. Excuse me. Financial. So these were the 4 books I read. Also more thoughtful and intentional journaling. I have been more honest and intentional and thoughtful in my journal. The first 4 books that I read were Finding Me, which is a memoir. It's Viola Davis. Buy What You Love Without Going Broke, The Apartment Across the Hall, and The Let Them Theory, which were all pretty good books. And this one, The Let Them Theory, was definitely my favorite, but I read 5 others. So financial, start the year strong, live on less. I have set a smaller budget to start to live on a smaller budget. I did my Roth IRA contribution. I did put $1,000 into savings, and I paid my quarterly taxes. Physical environment. It's so crazy when I look at a list like this because it's just like, oh, 5 things to check off. What I have to remember is that just check, how do I say this? A full office clean out isn't like, oh, I have an hour, let me clean out my office and check it off. A lot of these are much bigger projects that I really needed to break down into very small pieces. If you saw my After the Pen video, some of that was like clean top shelf of bookshelf, clean desk drawer, really breaking it down. So I did not do, James and I have not done inventory yet. We're not there. That's probably going to be a February thing, but I did do a full office clean out. I cleaned every single inch of my office. And actually I even did something bonus, which was finished wallpapering my office, which I started last January and never finished. So that was a huge project. I also did a full den closet clean out. I got rid of probably 60% of what was in my den closet. Between these, I did a Patreon de-stash, and I'm just going to note here because I'm proud of it. 52 boxes. I sent out 52 medium flat rate boxes to my Patreon members, which is very possibly like 500 pounds of product out of my house. And I'm so happy about it. I also did, we're going to check something off, is bedroom closet clean out. I think that originally that was something that I thought I would do in February, but I was on I had such a momentum from the office clean out that I was like, okay, what's next? So I cleaned out my office. We have not done the picture frame wall. That also may be something to do in February. So that is an overview of my January, and I think that we are ready to set up some February goals. So let's shift. Okay. I feel like sometimes I start in different spots, whatever's sort of popping into my mind first. So the first thing that I'm going to do is spiritual and personal growth. I don't think that I need to write down to be more intentional with my journal because I now have that habit set. So I'm going to read 4 books. My goal this year is 1 book per week. Even though at the time of filming this, I read 9 in January, I still want to stay on track with at least 1 per week. The other thing that I want to do is daily Duolingo. So Duolingo is a language learning app that I've been using to brush up on my Spanish and become more fluent in it because I really enjoyed pulling from the back of my brain in my high school Spanish when I was in the Dominican Republic. And I just think it's a good like brain exercise to continue. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I don't necessarily need to, I could have used a habit tracker sticker, but I don't know. That's what I wanted to do. All right, so now we have read 4 books. Health and wellness. Focus is continue making progress toward achieving a healthier lifestyle. Another thing, and I don't know if this really has a big impact on the weight loss, but I haven't had any alcohol this month, and it's something that my boyfriend was doing, so I was like, I might as well do it with you. So I feel like usually what I drink doesn't have a ton of calories. It's usually red wine. However, in December, I was drinking a decent amount of espresso martinis, and those are very sugary. And then when I was in the Dominican Republic, I was definitely drinking sugary drinks. So I also, though, am like kind of enjoying not drinking. Not kind of. I'm definitely enjoying it. My head is a little bit clearer. The thing is, like, I don't really drink very often. I drink if I'm going out, but I don't go out that often either. So I'm not someone who like has a glass of wine with dinner when I'm home, like by myself, or even just the 2 of us. It's just not a very common thing for me. So I don't think it has a ton of an impact on the weight loss. I think it's more of an impact on like not getting a headache, even though I've gotten headache. It's hard. I'm having trouble explaining the impact that it's had. Maybe my head is just a little bit more clear than it would be if it were a day that I had some drinks. I guess that's the best way to explain it. So for health and wellness, we are going to get back to 3 days a week exercising. And I actually think that instead of writing down 3 days a week, I really want to set well, how do I do this? So typically my Peloton is the only way that I work out in the winter. However, I did download an app and I signed up for a membership for something called Better Me, which is like a wall Pilates program, because even when I'm on my Peloton, I don't always feel that every workout is great, and it's just not the only workout I should be doing. So I think that what we're going to do here actually is write down 4 workouts per week. And some of those could be the Peloton, and some of those could be the Pilates. But I've also been tracking the miles that I've been riding on the Peloton, and I would like to get to 100 miles for January and February. So I'm going to write down reach 100 miles, and we'll do Jan dash February. A lot of these goal setting videos are like ideas that pop into my head, but then working through them with you. These are typically my longest videos because I want to just really talk and have it be thorough. But and maybe my like decision making or problem solving or whatever kind of gives you an idea about what you can do. All right. Um, we're gonna do two more. Healthy dining out choices. We've also been dining out less. We actually only went out to dinner one time in January before filming this. There will be one more dinner out to celebrate our 1 year anniversary. But really making better choices when I'm dining out, and that's also helping to save money, which is really nice. And then I'm going to write goal weight. Um, I'm not going to be sharing my weight or my goal weight at all, but I know what the number is by the end of February. I know what my ultimate goal weight is. That's not going to happen in February, but I do know what I'd like to end February at. There are definitely some creators out there who share their numbers of their weight start, finish. Personally, I think that there's just so many factors of height, body type, different curves that you have, muscle, all that kind of stuff, that it doesn't feel right for me. It just doesn't feel like a good match. So that is where we're at with health and wellness. Financial focus. We're going pretty basic with financial because aside from living on a smaller budget, I don't really have that many changes that I'm looking to make. The big thing for financial, and this is also sort of work and learning, but I'm going to put it in financial because that's where it has the most impact, is going to be to compile all 2024 tax forms. As a creator, I had 36 different companies pay me last year, and I need to get paperwork from all of them to be able to submit to my accountants for taxes. So it's a lot of work, and hopefully I'll be able to get them all. I should really have them all by January. As I've been getting them, I've been putting them into a folder that they're all labeled. So I mark off what I've been getting, but I'm sure there'll be people that I need to follow up with because that's just how these things happen. I would also like to put another $1,000 into savings like I did in January. We're going to do retirement contribution. And I would also like to do a 3 no spend days per week. I feel like each week in January, I have more and more no spend days because I'm not second guessing. I'm really thinking about my purchases before I do them. Cleaning out my bedroom closet and cleaning out my office has really made an impact on me and what I consume because everything I buy is something that I have to store in my home. And it's like, where am I going to put it? And just because I have room for it doesn't necessarily mean that I want it. The next time I'm decluttering, is this something that I'm really going to keep or not? And so the more that I go through things in my home, the less I want to buy. So um, that's where we're at for financial. Physical environment. We're going to be prepping for a roommate. I mean, it's James moving in, but it just made me laugh. So that's going to stay there. Okay, physical environment. So there are still a couple of things that need to get done here. One of them is going to be finish my dresser. A few months ago, I cleared out one of my dressers that James is using entirely, but the other dresser is now feeling very full. So I want to work on that. And then I need coat, closet, shoe, organization. Next up is What were the ones from January? Inventory and gallery wall. I still don't know if this is going to happen in February, but it's worth putting down. And then I'm going to leave one more because I don't really know what I want to use that for yet. So, but I'm sure that there will be another project in here that I want to tackle. All right, let's talk about personal goals. I don't really have a ton of personal goals in February. I feel like a lot of these categories cover so much of what I would want to do personally. And so I do have one, and that is to schedule a massage for myself. When I was cleaning out something, I found a gift card for a massage that I had gotten as a housewarming gift a year and a half ago, and I thought I lost. And so now that I found it, it is time to schedule a massage. But I think, I kind of think that that's it for personal. So, I mean, another thing that we can do just to write down is I've actually been trying to kind of upgrade some of the products that I use. So, I developed a skincare routine in the fall, like late fall. I've never really had a skincare routine. I've just like taken off my makeup and put on moisturizer, but I'm becoming more intentional with that. So, I don't want that to go away. So, we're just going to write skincare routine as something to be consistent with. And then the other thing is I'm trying to also work on a hair care routine using some higher end products versus like L'Oreal or Pantene or whatever's least expensive because my hair needs some help and it's okay at this point in my life, turning 38 this year, and working, two jobs, making decent money to upgrade some of the brands and things like that I use. So fun and recreation. I've decided that for now, fun and recreation is going to be the category dedicated to James. Family and relationships are going to be family and friends because not most of, but James and I do a lot of fun things together. But this is really where I want to set up stuff for us to do. So we're going to put down 3 things here. And one is celebrate Valentine's Day. The next is going to be a date night, which will be separate from Valentine's Day. And the next one is going to be set our goals, things that we both want to achieve individually and together as we reach this next chapter of us living together and what that future looks like. Work and learning. So I know that I said in January I didn't finish the Patreon admin level stuff. I'm still not really sure what I want that to look like. So we're going to hold off on that and set some goals here. One is going to be one brand project, which is working with a brand. I'm going to film an office tour. I have not filmed an office tour since 2021 in my 1-bedroom apartment. I have moved twice since then. So now that my office is organized, I think I am finally ready to film an office tour and I have it slated for February. It's probably going to be the end of February, but it is something that I'd really like to do. Then we're going to do Finance Friday, which is something I've been doing. Finance Friday. It was an idea that popped into my head in the shower one morning that I was like, I want to start sharing a little budgeting tip every single Friday. So we have 4 Fridays. We're just going to check that off here. And then I'm going to leave one open because I like the idea of still giving myself an option for something else, but I am going to do a revenue goal. Because of some goals that I have this year, there is a certain amount of money that I'm looking to earn every single month. And so we're going to put revenue goal to see if I can reach it. All right. family and relationships. So there's a few things that I'm going to write down here. I always say in this category, I don't have complete control over it. There's so many other people's schedules and lives and things that come into play, but I'm going to write down some things that I'd like to do. So one of them is to make plans with my dad's side of the family, but a lot of that is dependent on my brother's kids' schedule. Make plans with Ratners. I also want to write down celebrate Jen's birthday. Jen is James's sister, but life got in the way of being able to celebrate her birthday between us being away, them being away, us being sick, January things. And I'm actually going to write down two things here because there's two friends that I haven't seen in a while that I want to reach out to about making plans with. And maybe they're not until January, but at least it's making plans. Make plans with Justine. Actually, her birthday's in March, so maybe we can make a plan for March to celebrate and then make plans with Karen. Karen's my college roommate, and it's a little bit harder to make plans with her because she's a restaurant manager. So her days off are typically my days working and vice versa. And so it's a little bit more difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay. Whew. Are we finished? I think we may be finished. This is probably a long video. I have no idea what time it is, but I feel like it really went through every category. I know what I want February to look like, and I think that we did a good job. So this is, of course, a Moxie Life planner, and I have these Moxie Life dot markers that I love. Code Plan with Elise gives you a discount at Moxie Life. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your support. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.